Hi, this is Persecuted, and today I wanted to discuss family members that are in cults, and maybe it's Freemasonry, secret society, whatever. Unsuspecting family members. I come from a family that has three girls and two boys. I have an older sister who I suspect that is in a cult. Why I feel this way is because I noticed that years ago she joined this church in Brooklyn, and she was always into church and teaching Sunday school. And she joined it, and her life changed for the worst. She met this man that was 9 years older than her, and she married him. My parents threw her out at 17, and her life just got worse. But for some reason, she came back into our life at 20, and maybe she was very vindictive or resentful. All I know is that she's 2 years older than myself, and 3 years older than my younger sister. And my youngest brother, he had kidney failure for some reason. So we was in New York, and her life was just horrible. Her husband used to cheat on her. He used to beat her up. But I don't know what cults does, but for some reason, my sister, my youngest sister, who's 2 years younger than me, she went to Maryland with my oldest sister, and she developed kidney failure. For some reason, her head was enlarged, her feet were swollen, her hands were swollen, and she went back to New York, and they was checking her for lupus, but she just got mysteriously sick. And at that age, I believe she was 23 at the time, and kidney failure do not run in our family. But she was with my oldest sister at the time, and they put her on steroids, depressed, very sick. My parents didn't know what to do. They're not from this country. They didn't know what to do. But my oldest sister, she was very mysterious, and she had a friend, a guy that she cheated on her husband with. He is a bus driver in New York. I'm not too sure if he's a bus driver now, but his brother was a police officer. But anyway, she dated this guy, and his brother became a friend of the family. But that guy was confirmed that he is a Freemason. And she was just so intrigued by him. She loved him or liked him a lot. And she was into that for some reason. I don't know why she was into him, but who knows. But anyway, I moved on. I moved to Texas, and I got married. And I noticed that I became sick as well. Just mistakes been happening for some reason. I don't know, just weird stuff that my friend, the friend of the family, who is a cousin of the guy that my sister was dating at the time, he also developed kidney failure. And that guy, he used to come over to the house a lot. And for some reason, my sister was sharing my personal diary with him. And in my diary, I was 13 at the time, and I discussed, I just actually wrote my personal feelings towards school. And at that time, I wasn't having a good time in my life. But for some reason, a friend of mine called me when I was in Texas, and she told me that my sister had my diary out, and I was 22 at the time. And she said she was just sharing my my personal information with everybody, and especially that guy who is a Freemason. So he had my diary, and they was going through my personal information. I got upset. I called her on it, and I don't think she felt good about that. But for some reason in Texas, I started to argue with my husband. We wasn't getting along as well. And my sister, who I believe is in a cult, um, because you guys have to take into consideration that family members that are in cults, they would not tell you anything. Okay, what is a targeted individual? A targeted individual is really a human sacrifice. Okay, I know it's hard to believe, but it's really a human sacrifice. I have been stalked, and my life went downhill. It just went terrible because my sister, who wanted to get back at me, used the cult to harass and stalk me. And of course, I didn't know anything at the time, but I prayed so hard, and God disclosed everything to me. And she is the one who did this. And I don't know what they do as far as illegal experimentation. I don't know the connection. I don't know what they have. Some people might think it's the government. I keep a low profile. I don't do time. I didn't have any kids. I don't have any kids. And I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not a person that went out to the club. I don't do anything. I'm not really exposed like that. So it's really difficult for me to express myself on air. But anyway, my sister, who has connections through that guy, his brother was a police officer in New York, and he was a bus driver. I don't know how they do it, but I think that, my opinion, I think they get paid, meaning my sister got paid to sign her family members up for illegal experimentation for the government. Now, I know that this is a psyop because I have implants in my body. I have never joined a cult. I was never into that. I'm not vain. I don't worship money. I don't glorify money, actually. And it's just weird that, and she's doing fine. Um, my youngest brother, he was sick as well. So we had 3 people that was around us. My youngest brother, my youngest sister, and a friend of the family who's related to that guy. They all developed renal failure. Very weird. And they were in their 20s at the time. What I'm saying today basically is, you guys have to be aware of wolf in sheep clothing. They have some people that's in our family that are on the other side. They are Satanists, and you guys need to understand that. They worship the devil, and we're just here to be used for them to get rich. So, or maybe not rich, but just some type of payoff. But I believe I have been illegally experimented on, and my siblings, my youngest siblings as well. They sign you up, and military, scientists, government get involved, Illuminati get involved as well, and they stalk you, and you're targeted. And for some reason, the goal is to be incarcerated, be in a psych ward, or dead. And it's basically a human sacrifice, and you guys have to understand that. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but for some reason, why would the government harass us? Why would we be stalked by police officers? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. We're not criminals. It has to do with our loved ones, our family members. maybe even friends, that are using us as a human sacrifice. That's just my opinion. Um, I don't know the reward. I just know that we have to stay in prayers. We really have to stick together as well. I'm going through a hard time. I told you in my first video that I have plastic inserted in my body under my skin. I feel like I'm being cloned. I have more pictures to upload. It's not fair. I've been set up by my sister. And it's hard for me to share this information with the world, but I have to. I have to get my information. I have to get my story out there. I have to. So I just wanted to let you guys know that be on guard. Be aware that family members that are connected to the other side, that are Satanists, they signed us up for this. They are the ones that are doing this. Some people have their parents that does this because they're Satanists. It doesn't matter if it's a parent or your parents or a sibling. It doesn't matter. They feel that they could do this to us. So it's not just the government. It's not just only law enforcement or military. It doesn't make any sense. So we have to be on guard, targeted individual. We really have to we have to stay in prayers, really. We have to just be aware of the deceitful family members that are just here to do us in. And I believe she got paid. She has her husband. They have a barbershop and they also have a boutique and a hair salon. And she's also a realtor in North Carolina. So she's doing very well. What they do, they send people out to you. I have been set up in a honey trap. A honey trap is when someone pretends to be a boyfriend or girlfriend. They're looking for like a love interest. So I fell for the trap. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it has to be someone close to you that is doing this. If you're not a criminal, if you're not a person that is a terrorist or did anything wrong, it has to be a family member or someone close to you. Who is the devil going to use, really? It could be your kids, it could be your cousin, sibling, friends. So my life changed for the worse. And I just want to share my story with you. Be on guard. Don't trust anyone. You know, don't be willing to just basically, you can't really trust anyone. Just, you know, it's kind of hard, but because you love family, and I love my family. I would do anything for my family, but you just have to be careful because they're not in your best interest. They're greedy, they're money hungry. They would do you in. They would set you up. They would set you up. So if you don't live a lifestyle that is, you know, you're out there as a criminal or drug use or drug dealing or anything like that, and just live a nice, simple lifestyle, you have some family members that are crooked, and they would use that. They would use you, you know, for some human sacrifice to get rewards. You know, it's not the human sacrifice like, oh yeah, like what we know, but they sign you up for a PSYOP program and they put you on this and they get money, believe me, they get money. They get money for that. So you guys just have to be careful and just be on guard. Okay? Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.